Broadcasting live from the Riddicks via OBS Studio Broadcast Center at Centennial Sportsplex. This is GNASH Hockey on the Middle Tennessee Sports Network as we welcome you to the final night of the 2023-2024 GNASH regular season. And the GNASH Cup will be won tonight. Montgomery Bell taking on Father Ryan. If Father Ryan win this game, Franklin win the GNASH Cup. But MBA just need a tie, and they will win the GNASH Cup for a fifth time, which would put them second all-time behind Brentwood. The Bruins have the most GNASH Cups with 6. Of course, it's a big night because we are watching all the games to see who get the remaining seeds in the playoffs. And we're going to go ahead and dive into the scores from last week, and we have one game in the books tonight. We have a huge result out of Tier 2. So let's go back to last Monday. Montgomery Bell beat Ravenwood 6-1. Franklin beat Mount Juliet Wilson Central Green Hill 6-0. Station Camp Liberty Creek beat the Tennessee Outlaws 5-3. Ensworth Nolensville Lipscomb beat Summit Page 6-1 to claim the 2 seed for the Predators Cup. Hendersonville Beach Gallatin beat Independence Ravenwood 8-2. So Indy end up with a Hein Cup 8 seed, and the Rutherford Rampage beat Brentwood 4-2. Then last Wednesday, the Rampage had their senior night game in Antioch, and they beat the Outlaws 7-3 to claim the Hein Cup 1 seed. And the first game of tonight is in the books. The Tennessee Outlaws beat Brentwood 5-4 out in Bellevue. So the Outlaws commemorating their senior night by closing the regular season with a victory. So this means that the Outlaws and Centennial, this means Centennial will be the 2 seed for the Hein Cup, and the Outlaws will claim the 3. So let's go ahead and look at the standings with that one game of the books this evening. Tier 1 standings look like this. Summit Page, they've claimed the Preds Cup 1 seed. They finished the second half of the regular season 5-2. Ensworth Nolensville Lipscomb claimed the 2 seed. They finished the regular 1. Franklin at 3-3-1. MBA right behind them at 2-1-3. Father Ryan and Pope Brett MLK GCA both at 3-3. Mount Juliet Wilson Central Green Hill at 2-3-1. And Ravenwood they finished the second half at 1-6. On to Tier 2, the Rutherford Rampage. Again, they finished the regular season last Wednesday. They are the Hein Cup 1 seed, finishing at 6-1. Centennial at 4-2. Because of Brentwood's loss, they will be the 2 seed. The Outlaws finished the second half at 4-3. Even if Centennial lose to Indy, Centennial will get the 2 seed because they own the head-to-head on the Outlaws, since they would have both finished with 4 wins. Brentwood 3-3-1 to finish the second half of the regular season. USNBA Nashville Christian at 3-3. Station Camp Liberty Creek, they finished the regular season last week at 3-4. Hendersonville Beach Gallatin at 2-3-1. And Independence Ravenwood 2 at 0-6. The rest of tonight's games going on right now over on the Chris Brink in Bellevue. It's Hendersonville Beach Gallatin taking on USNBA Nashville Christian FRA Goodpasture. USN playing for the first time in 61 days. The last time they set foot on the ice was the 4-1 win over Rutherford on December the 6th. It was senior night for USN. Everything got pushed back in Bellevue. The Brentwood Outlaws game didn't get started until 6 because of traffic issues, heavy traffic. So everything got pushed back to 6 o'clock. So the Hendersonville USN game, which would have been almost an hour old at this point, probably just got started. Again, it's senior night for USN. Over on Rink B, Independence Ravenwood 2 taking on Centennial. Centennial leading 2-0 late in the first, last I saw. Coming up in just a few minutes here on Rink A at Centennial, MBA taking on Father Ryan. It's senior night for the Fighting Irish. And the other game in Bellevue this evening, Pope Prep MLK GCA taking on Mount Juliet Wilson Central Green Hill. Supposed to start at 8:25, but again, everything got pushed back because of traffic. So that game is going to get started much later than it was supposed to. And it's fitting that Pope Mount Juliet game is the last one of the regular season because those two teams played each other on the first night of the regular season way back on September 25th. Pope won that game 2-1. Mount Juliet over Mount Juliet. Okay, so quite a few seeding scenarios heading into tonight, especially in the Hein Cup. The Preds Cup, though, those are the normal ones. As the senior night ceremony for Father Ryan has begun. So here are the simple parts. If MBA and Pope win, MBA will get the 3 seed, Pope will get the 4, Franklin will get the 6, Father Ryan will get this. Franklin will get the 5, Father Ryan will get the 6, Mount Juliet will get the 7th. Ravenwood have already claimed the 8, by the way. So Summit have claimed the 1, Edgeworth have claimed the 2, Ravenwood have claimed the 8. If MBA and Mount Juliet both win, then MBA would get the 3, Franklin would get the 4, Mount Juliet would get the 5, Father Ryan the 6, and Pope the 7. If Father Ryan and Pope win, Father Ryan would get the 3 seed, Pope the 4, Franklin the 5, MBA the 6, and Mount Juliet the 7. If Father Ryan and Mount Juliet win, Father Ryan would get the 3, Franklin would get the 4, Mount Juliet would get the 5, MBA would get the 6, and Pope would get the 7. If MBA were to win and the Pope-MJ game ended in a tie, MBA would be the 3, Pope would be the 4, Franklin the 5, Father Ryan the 6, and Mount Juliet the 7. If Father Ryan were to win and the Pope-Mount Juliet game ended in a tie, Father Ryan would get the 3 seed, Pope would be the 4, Franklin the 5, MBA the 6, Mount Juliet the 7. If MBA Father Ryan ended at a tie and Pope won, Pope would be the 3, MBA the 4, Franklin the 5, Father Ryan the 6, and Mount Juliet the 7. If MBA Father Ryan ended at a tie and Mount Juliet beat Pope, MBA would be the 3, Franklin the 4, Mount Juliet the 5, Father Ryan the 6, and Pope the 7. And finally, if both games ended in ties, MBA would be the 3, Franklin the 4, Pope would be the 5, Father Ryan the 6, and Mount Juliet would be the 7 as the senior night ceremony for the Irish is well underway. Austin Hester being honored. Stephen Henry told me if he gets 2 points tonight, he will have 100 career points as a high schooler. As Harper Howard being the next senior honored. Looks like Colton Edwards and Jack Sutter still to go. No, it's Carter Middleton. It's Carter Middleton who's being honored next. The others being honored, Jacob Boron. Hold on, I got to stand up in this chair and see the rest of those banners. Jack Sutterth. Last one being honored. I'm going to have to get my roster out. So I was going over those scenarios and I missed everything. So Austin Hester, Carter Middleton, Colton Edwards, Jacob Boron, Jack Sutterth, and Harper Howard. And now both teams go out on the ice for the 3-minute warm-up. So let's talk about the two teams playing tonight's game. First up, Montgomery Bell, coached by J.P. Dumont. I forgot to go over the GNASH Cup standings. Well, the only two teams that matter, Franklin, they finished the GNASH Cup race at 9-3-2. And MBA are 8-1-4. Those are the only two teams that matter. NBA are 2-1-3 in the second half of the regular season. Their last 5 games dating back to, I think, let's see how far back. It's a game against Mount Juliet, I think. Yeah. Results of their last 5 games dating back to November 15th, a 3-3 tie with Mount Juliet, then a 2-2 tie with Franklin on November 29th. December 4th, a 7-1 loss to Summit Page because Hunter Wieck was a healthy scratch. And then they won their last 2. They beat Pope Prep MOK GCA 4-1 on January 24th. And then last Monday beat Ravenwood 6-1. So here are their stats coming into tonight. Lee Guy, the leading scorer, has 20 points from 12 goals and 8 assists. Trace Graham, 19 points from 10 goals and 9 assists. Matthew Moore, 15 points from 9 goals and 6 assists. Duke Dalba, 9 points from a goal and 8 assists. Ethan Moore, 6 points from 4 goals and 2 assists. James Lehrman, 6 points from 2 goals and 4 assists. Abe Lasher, 4 points from 3 goals and an assist. Andrew Fritsch, 4 points from 2 goals and 2 assists. Michael Dattilo and Edwin Bass, each with 4 points from assist. Ethan Sides, 3 points from 2 goals and an assist. Brandon Fremgen and Graham Rudder each have 2 points from assists. Hunter Musser has a point from a goal. Emmett Castile and Eli Stark each have a point from an assist. On to goalie play. Hunter Wieck has played in 12 games. His record 8-0-4. He's played 501 minutes. Goals against average of 1.84. No shutouts. He's allowed 22 goals on 350 shots turned away the other 328. His save percentage in the regular season so far is 94. Aiden Becker has played in 2 games, one of which was a start. He played the last 3 minutes of the 8-3 win over Father Ryan back on October 20th. Then he started the game against Summit. He took the loss because, of course, NBA never came back and won, so his record 0-1. Played just shy of 25 minutes so far. Goals against average of 5.07. No shutouts. He's allowed 3 goals on 9 shots, turned away the other 6. His save percentage is 67. And Mac McCrary, who's normally a skater on the varsity team, played the second half of that Summit game in goal, so he got a no decision out of it. He played just over 20 minutes. Goals against average of 8.35. No shutouts. He allowed 4 goals on 12 shots, turned away the other 8. His save percentage in the regular season, 67. On to Father Ryan, coached by Kyle Dora. We've not seen them since November 15th when they lost to Franklin 5-0. We go over the results of their last 5 games coming into tonight. And it does date back to that Franklin game, that 5-0 loss to Franklin on November 15th. Bounced back November 29th with a 6-2 win over Ravenwood. Then lost their next 2, December 4th, 3-2 to Mount Juliet. January 10th, 5-2 to Summit Page. But then 2 weeks ago tonight, the big 3-2 win over Ensworth, Nolensville, Lipscomb. Here are their stats coming into tonight. Austin Hester, the leading scorer, 27 points from 12 goals and 15 assists. He has 15 points in the second half. Colton Edwards with 22 points from 12 goals and 10 assists. Colin Sullivan, 18 points from 8 goals and 10 assists. Jacob Boron, 9 points from a goal and 8 assists. Carter Middleton, 7 points from 2 goals and 5 assists. Harper Howard, 2 points. Harper Howard and Merrick McCullers each have 2 points from a goal and an assist. Parker Causey, 2 points from assists. Chaffin Baggett, Noah Deffenbaugh, Sam Halloran, and Jack Halloran each have a point from a goal. Jack Sudderth and Curtis Newman each have a point from an assist. On to goalie play. Zach Fonsbeck has played in 12 games. His record is 5-6. One of those was a no decision. He's played just over 475 minutes. Goals against average of 3.36. No shutouts. He's allowed 38 goals on 367 shots. Turned over the other 329. His save percentage in the regular season so far is 90. Riley Barnes has played in 3 games. His first appearance was coming in the last 4:58 and the loss to Brentwood back on October 18th. His second appearance, he played the second half of the game against Mount Juliet back on November 6th. He actually ended up taking the loss because he gave the game-winning goal. And then his last appearance, he played the entirety of the 7-6 win over Pope on November 13th. So his record is 1-1. He's played just shy of 68 minutes, goals against average of 4.96. No shutouts. He's allowed 8 goals on 55 shots, turned away the other 47. And his save percentage in the regular season so far is 85. And again, the last time these two teams met back on October 20th, NBA won 8-3. It was a Friday night, but they weren't really missing any big players in either team because of travel hockey. We'll see if, of course, just 2 nights earlier, Father Ryan had been whooped 7-0 by Brentwood. So that may have been the effects of that game wearing thin on the Irish. We'll see. Ready to go with this one. Zach Fonsbeck in goal for Father Ryan. Hunter Wieck in goal for MBA for this first period. Father Ryan will carry the puck from my left to right, MBA from my right to left. And we're underway. NBA win the opening draw. Matthew Moore, left wing side of the Father Ryan zone. Can't get around Jacob Bourne. Puts it in front. Lee Guy couldn't get a stick on it. Zach Fonsbeck paddled it away. Now back the other way goes Colton Edwards with a soft shot from the left wing side that Hunter Wieck scoops up off the ice with his glove, and that takes just the first 15 seconds off the clock. Draw be to Wieck's right. NBA have the puck off the draw. Trace Graham brings it out of his zone. Pass across to the near side. Matthew Moore brings it into the Father Ryan zone on the left wing. And it poked off his stick from behind by Carter Middleton. Trace Graham gets it back. Moore back in his skates. Chasing the puck over to the right wing corner. Tried to drop it down for Lee Guy. Picked off Austin Hester. Hester ahead for Colton Edwards. Edwards brings it into the NBA zone on the left wing side. Dropped it back for Colin Sullivan. When it knocked off his stick. Matthew Moore goes to clear. Father Ryan zone. Curtis Newman will carry it out. Chip it up the near side back into the NBA end. The Big Red making a line change. Now here's Ethan Moore, left wing side of the Father Ryan zone, getting off a shot that went off a stick. The stick of Hester still came on goal, and Fonsbeck had to stop and cover. 12:57 left in the first. No goals on the board just yet. Draws to the right of Fonsbeck. Looked like NBA won it, but it's taken away and cleared out by Curtis Newman. Puck now in the NBA zone on the right wing side. Harper Howard tried to put it in front. Pass to the slot for Sam Halloran. But he couldn't get his stick on it. Puck now out at center. Now it's back in the Irish end. Curtis Newman tried to slap it out. Didn't slap it out very hard. Kept alive in the zone by Duke Dalba. Ethan Moore drops it down low. Behind the net, sent around the wall to the far side. Held in Abe Lasher at the right point. Lasher walks it down the right wing. Right circle, a shot turned away by Fonsbeck. Kicks it away with a left leg pad. Puck behind the net. Duke Dalba tried to put it out, bring it out in front. Got knocked off his stick. Andrew Fretch below the goal line. Moving around the back of the net. Drops it back behind the net. Ethan Moore. Moore. Spinning away from Merrick McCullers. Trying to come out to the left wing side. Passes up to the left point. And Zach Rankin pass across to the right point. And Lasher, who sends it down the wall. Ethan Moore retrieves it in the left wing corner. Gets knocked down by Merrick McCullers. Puck coming up in the near wall, and Harper Howard has it. He'll bring it to center and chip it into the NBA zone, go to the bench for a change. Very soft chip, but it was still had enough momentum to go down ice for an icing. 11:42 to go in the first, and no goals on the board just yet. Draws to the right of Fonsbeck. One by the Irish. Here's Jacob Boren. Ooh, I thought he's trying to bank it off the glass and get it out. He banked it very high off the near glass. Somehow stayed in. It didn't go out. Puck now out at center on the far side, trickling back into the NBA zone. Jacob Boren pokes it to the inboards. That's behind the net. Boren trying to put it out in front. Now a shot from the right point off the right leg pad of Wieck. And the puck will be carried out by Andrew Fretch. Sorry, it's a James Lehrman in the Father Ryan zone in the right wing corner. Puck taken away from him by Carter Middleton. Poked up the far side, held in by Graham Rudder, and his shot from the right point went off a stick and past the net. Puck of the inboards, puck sent around. Held in at the left point. Here's Ethan Sides backhanding it back down towards the left wing corner. Carter Middleton taps it away from Eli Stark. And the puck cleared out. Brandon Fremkin couldn't keep it in at the left point. Icing waved off. Parker Causey comes in and Tries to deliver a hit on, I think it's Michael Dattilo. Yes, it was. And clearing attempt knocked down by the Irish. Austin Hester keeps it alive at the blue line, trying to spin away from James Lehrman, but Lee Guy swipes the puck away. Here's Curtis Newman out at center. Banking it off the near kick plate, back into the Irish, or back into the big red zone. He was behind the red line, so it's an icing. 10-12 left in the first, still no goals on the board. Draw to Fonsbeck's right. Draw one by the Irish. Puck out on the far side. Austin Hester fires it up the near side at center, trying to get a stretch pass to Colin Sullivan, but it evaded him. Goes deep for another icing. Draw be to Fonsbeck's left. Looks like NBA won it, but it's taken away by the Irish and cleared out. Austin Hester, far side at center. Passes to Sullivan. He's in the NBA zone on the right wing side. Trying to put it in front for Hester. Couldn't get a stick on it. Colton Edwards was in there too. Now racing back the other way is Matthew Moore. Right wing side of the Father Ryan zone. His shot off the glove of Fonsbeck into the netting above the glass. 9:35 to go in the first. Still zip. Draw be to Fonsbeck's left again. And Austin Hester kicked off the face-off dot for Colton Edwards. Draw one by NBA. A Blaster tried to send it to the front of the net and went off the back of the stick blade of Lee Guy and trickled just past the right-hand post. So NBA almost got one on the board. Lee Guy's tip wasn't accurate enough. Now he and Hester are battling out on the far half wall. Hester gets the puck, passes to Boren, who deflects it out to center, and Colin Sullivan makes sure he's past the red line to dump it back into the NBA zone. Puck out high. Jacob Boren, a shot went off a stick and past the net to the left of Hunter Wieck. Here's Sullivan. Right wing corner, got pushed off the puck. And now Abe Lasher's going to carry it to center. Bang it off the near kick plate for Matthew Moore. Brings it into the Irish zone, and the puck smacked off his stick from behind. He gets it back. Passes below the goal line to Trace Graham. Graham comes back out to the right wing. Passes off Lasher, top of the right circle. A shot went wide, comes to Matthew Moore, and he gets off a shot that that Fonsbeck stops and covers up. I don't know if Lasher was shooting. It looked like it hit a stick, came over to the right-hand side of the net where Moore was waiting. He got off the shot, and Fonsbeck saved it and covered. 8:35 left in the first. Still no goals on the board. Draws to the right of Fonsbeck. Won by the Irish, Merrick McCullers. Passing it up the far side boards and out to center. Here's Graham Rudder trying to send it back the other way, and it taken away by Jack Halloran, who then skated over the blue line without the puck. And then Rudder trying to flick it up the far side, ends up flicking it into the netting above the glass where the bleachers are. So they'll drop the puck on that dot right outside the NBA zone on the far side of the ice. One by the Irish. Jack Sutterth, left wing side of the NBA zone, tried to drop it back and held it in the blue line and sent back down low by Merrick McCullers. And that was not Jack Sutterth, it was Sam Halloran. Halloran sending it over to the right wing corner from the left wing corner. Big Red come up with it, try and get it out. Held in by the Irish. Harper Howard puts it out in front. Oh, and Jack Halloran went to shoot, and he whiffed on it. Then he took the puck away from Ethan Moore for a second, and then it poked away from him right after. Puck finally brought out to center by the Big Red. Duke Dalba near side. Passes over to, I think that's Ethan Moore. It went off his stick and slid away from him. Brandon Fremgen over to Dalba. Now Andrew Fretch Backhands it into the Father Ryan zone. Gets up a shot in the right circle. Then stopped. Rebound. What a save. Fonsbeck. Duked Alba in the right, bottom right-hand corner, wide open. And Fonsbeck stuck out the right leg pad and stopped him. Puck held in at the right point. Shot from Michael Dattilo. Turned away by Fonsbeck. Andrew Fretch, right circle, gets up a shot in the net. Puck passed up to the left point, intercepted. Cleared out by Curtis Newman. Puck comes around the wall to the far side. Now here's Ethan Moore bringing it back into the Father Ryan zone on the right wing. Shoots it off the outside of the post to the left of Fonsbeck. Andrew Fretch had it knocked off his stick by Parker Causey. He gets it back. Passes down the right wing wall to Ethan Moore. Tried to drop it back in the slot to Caleb Kirkland, but that was intercepted and cleared out. Cortland Klett at center. Ahead to Fretch, off his stick towards the Father Ryan blue line. Picked up and taken the other way by Carter Middleton, who made Fretch fall over trying to take the puck away. Middleton shoots it behind the net. Now Hester's shooting it from the right half wall. That misses. Puck out at center on the far side. Taken back by the Irish. Colton Edwards, and it jabbed off his stick. Bringing it into the NBA zone. Down at the end boards, Colin Sullivan. Comes out to the right circle, and it knocked off his stick. Jacob Borden couldn't keep it alive at the right point. Puck out at center. Sent towards the Irish blue line by Colin Sullivan. And Caleb Kirkland jumps on it, brings it into the zone. Got pushed into the boards by Jacob Boron. Puck in the right wing corner. And Colton Edwards will bring it out on the far side. Pass it up the far wall. Colin Sullivan had to go past him. Foot race between he and Zach Rankin. Deep into the NBA zone. Puck put out in front, but off the stick of Caleb Kirkland. Trying to keep it alive was Merrick McCullers. Puck out at center. Edwin Bass passes it back into the Irish zone, but the Irish trying to clear it out on the near side. Curtis Newman banks it off the boards and out. Here's Austin Hester at center, back into the NBA zone. Had the puck pulled off his stick by Abe Lasher. Zach Rankin sending it around the wall to the far side. Oh, and a big hit. Edwin Bass driven into the boards hard by Harper Howard. Here's a shot from the right half wall of the Father Ryan zone from Lee Guy that misses the net. Oh, and that is going to be a penalty against Howard. Puck dumped back into the Irish zone. It's an icing. Roughing the call. So NBA get the first power play of the game. No goals on the board. 4:22 to go in the first. Draw will be on the dot in front of the NBA bench. Harper Howard in the box. By the way, the GNASH Cup is sitting on the scorekeeper table. But there's no one, if NBA end up losing this game, Franklin win the GNASH Cup, but I don't think they have a representative to take it. Here's Lee Guy, left wing side of the Father Ryan zone. Drops it back Matthew Moore. Moore carries it down the left wing. Below the goal line, had the puck knocked off his stick by Curtis Newman. Guy trying to get it back. Now here's Austin Hester behind his own net. They're telling him to ice it, and he tried to clear it around the wall, and it goes off the stick of Matthew Moore and into the netting above the glass. No, they're going to say it was Hester all the way. They're going to drop it to the right of Fonsbeck. Irish looking to win the draw and clear the puck. It's won by NBA. Michael Dattilo, left point, passes across to the right point. Trace Graham moves down the wall a bit, drops it back to the center point, and Dattilo to the left circle, and Guy. Guy banks it off the near kick plate to the left point, and Dattilo back down low to Guy, and it's swatted away by Jacob Boren. Down low, it's near the back of the net. Andrew Fretch comes out in front, a backhander off the stick handle of Fonsbeck, and then the puck cleared out of play again on the near side by Jacob Boren, ends up firing it into his own penalty box. 72 seconds left in the power play, 3:34 to go. In the first, still no goals on the board in this one. Draws to the right of Fonsbeck. Draw one by the Big Red. Puck held into the blue line. Michael Dattilo, his shot off the stick of Matthew Moore. Stopped by Fonsbeck with a left leg pad. Puck on the left wing side. Guy with it. Goes below the goal line. Minute left of the power play. Fonsbeck falls over the crease. Gets back to his feet. Guy came around to the right wing. His shot was deflected to the corner. Puck out in front. It ends up in the stick of Colin Sullivan, who falls over trying to carry it out. Guy takes it back. Tried to pass across to Trace Graham, went off the skates of Jacob Bourne. Puck held into the right point by Dattilo. His shot misses the net to the left of Fonsbeck. Lee Guy up to the left point. Dattilo pass across to Graham at the right point. Graham backhands it down the right wing to Matthew Moore. Moore trying to pass it in front. Andrew French, little flick, stopped by Fonsbeck. And then the rebound try by Graham was backhanded wide. Pass across. Oh, and Matthew Moore. It was French. French shot it through the crease from standing next to the left-hand side of the net. Puck was cleared to center, brought back in by Moore on the right wing. Sends it around the wall to the left point, and Dattilo. Dattilo shot, stopped by Fonsbeck, pops up in the air, and he gloves it to hang on for the whistle. Penalty time against the Irish is up. They're back at even strength. 2:20 left in the first. No goals on the board. Zach Fonsbeck coming up big. Shots on goal on the board read 8-2. I think it's 12-2. They're missing a few for NBA. Draw to the right of Fonsbeck once again. Draw one by Father Ryan. Puck comes around the wall to the right side, the far side, and Merrick McCullers clears it. Went past Graham Rudder, so icing waved off. It went right past him. So they wave off the icing. Duke Dalba trying to pass ahead to Ethan Moore. Went off his stick and just slid over the blue line and out. It's out at center again. Curtis Newman tapping it back into the NBA zone. Graham Rudder clears it out again. Puck now in the Irish zone. Duke Dalba trying to get it away from Merrick McCullers. He does. Trying to bring it in front, but McCullers caught him from behind and swiped the puck away. Now it's on the far side. Parker Causey fumbles it a bit. Now backhands it out. Brendan Fremgen with it. Banks it off the near boards. Back into the Irish zone. Curtis Newman clears. And it'll be iced by Chaffin Baggett. 83 seconds left in the first. Still zip-zip. Draw's going to be to the right of Fonsbeck. Draw one with the Irish, and they're going to end up icing it. No, they wave it off. Guess they said the NBA defensemen were a little too lazy. And now shooting it on goal from his own blue line was Abe Lasher, and Zach Fonsbeck had to make the stop. Jacob Bourne carries the puck out. Dumps it into the NBA zone, but he was behind the red line when he did it, so another icing. We've entered the final minute of the first. Still no goals on the board. 57.3 seconds to go in the first period. Draw is going to be to the left of Fonsbeck. Big tussle for the puck off the draw. The Big Red come up with it. It's behind the net where it is picked up by Hester. Austin Hester. Stretch pass up the near side. Knocked down with a stick of Colin Sullivan. Hands it off Boron. Puck is in the NBA zone towards the right wing corner. Grabbed by Abe Lasher. 30 seconds left in the period. Puck out on the far side. Trace Graham trying to pass it along. It went off a skate back into the NBA zone. Zach Rankin trying to skate away from Colin Sullivan, who's trying to get the puck away. Sullivan does clear. Lee Guy with it at center. Passes up the far side. Trace Graham, he's in the Father Ryan zone, and it poked off his stick. Matthew Moore backhands it down to Guy. Guy shot. I think it hit the outside of the net. Outside frame of the goal on the left-hand side. Here's Matthew Moore. Time running out. Moore behind the net. Puts it out in front. And the shot from Graham stopped by Fonsbeck. I think it would have been late anyway. Well, Zach Fonsbeck doing a great job in goal for Father Ryan, as you'd expect. And no goals on the board for either the Fighting Irish or NBA at the end of one. Second period underway. Puck in the Father Ryan zone. Colin Sullivan backhanding it out to center from the far side. Michael Dattilo sends it back in from the red line. Went off a stick. Otherwise, it would have been on goal, and Zach Fonsbeck would have had to make a stop. Now it's deep, put out in front, and flicked wide from right in front. I think by Ethan Moore. Hunter Wieck still in goal for the Big Red. Now here's Austin Hester out at center, right wing side of the NBA zone. Round Cortland Clare, puts it in front, pass across, score! Sullivan! Colin Sullivan had the right hand side of the net wide open. Hunter Wieck didn't see him, and he slides it in. And the Irish strike first. They take a 1-0 lead with 13:06 to go in the second. That score holds. Franklin win the GNASH Cup. Puck in the NBA zone off the draw. Brandon Fremgen with it. J.P. Dumont not here tonight, which is odd. Here's Jack Halloran trying to put the puck out in front, went off an NBA stick. Jacob Bourne whiffs on an attempt to keep it alive. Now here's Matthew Moore into the Father Ryan zone of the left wing. Around the back of the net, tried to put it out in front. Here's Lee Guy coming around to the right wing. Guy shot off a stick and into the netting above the glass. 12:35 to go in the second. 1-0, Father Ryan leading. Draw to Fonsbeck's left. Father Ryan won the draw. Cleared it out of the zone, sent back in by the Big Red, but they had a couple of players offside. Now it's back in the NBA zone on the far side. Brandon Fremgen trying to get it out. It trickles out over the blue line. Colton Edwards grabs it at center. Edwards brings it back in the NBA zone on the left wing. Behind the net. Passes out to the right point, Merrick McCullers. McCullers back down the wall to Edwards. Edwards over to Sullivan. Sullivan drops it down low behind the net for Hester. Off his stick, and Cortland Klett's going to end up icing it. Sorry, Caleb Kirkland. No, correction, it was Graham Rudder who iced it. 11:49 to go in the second. 1-0 Father Ryan. Draws to the right of Hunter Wieck. Irish with 1 goal and just 3 shots. NBA, the board reads 10. I think it's 13. They counted that shot right at the buzzer to end the first. I don't think that shot should have counted. NBA clear the puck out, but Curtis Newman has it at center. Passes over to the far side, Jacob Boren, who was behind the red line and dumped it back into the NBA zone for another icing. That's twice he's done that. Draw to the right of Fonsbeck. Won by NBA. Here's Abe Lasher, right point. Sends it down deep. Here's James Lehrman. Backhanding it out in front, but right to the stick of Brendan Malloy. Malloy out to center. Is it knocked off his stick? Boren shoots it on goal from center, and Hunter Wieck has to stop and cover. 11:05 to go in the second. 1-0 Father Ryan. Draw be to Wieck's left. Won by NBA. Puck whipped around the boards of the near side by Zach Rankin. Here's James Lehrman, right wing side of the Father Ryan zone. Pass across, caught up to on the far side by Ethan Sides. Drops it back up top to the left point and sent down the wall by Rankin. Here is Lehrman trying to backhand it out in front. Sides drops it behind the net. Eli Stark had it taken away. Stark playing his 5th game of the regular season tonight, which means he's played the minimum to be eligible for the playoffs. Austin Hester back in the NBA zone, down the right wing. Has to go below the goal line, around the inboards, comes out to the left wing side. Puck knocked off his stick by James Lehrman, but taken back by Merrick McCullers, and his shot in the left circle, and to be blockered away by Wieck. And the Big Red are going to end up icing the puck. 10-10 to go in the second. The Irish leading 1-0. Draw beat of Wieck. Draw one by the Irish. Sam Halloran a shot in the right circle. I either missed the net or Wieck got a piece of it. Puck comes up to the left point. Michael Jasowski passing it down. Here's Jack Halloran being pushed off the puck by Andrew Fritsch. Then he gets it back. Jasowski joins in, sends it towards the front of the net. And Hunter Wieck tries to cover. It's loose. And a shot stopped. Rebound score! Jack Halloran from in front! Wieck couldn't clear the puck away. There was a player in the net. Jack Halloran scores. Does it count, though? The net had been dislodged. Mike O'Neill says the net was way off. The goal doesn't count. Wow. Big break for NBA. It's still 1-0 Father Ryan with 9:36 to go in the second. Huge break for the Big Red. Draw to the right of Fonsbeck. Draw one by NBA. Graham Rudder backhanding it out to the far side, but it's pinned up against the boards by Colin Sullivan. Sullivan Passes off Edwards. Edwards goes behind the net. Puts it out in front. Hester's there. Sullivan's there. Back in. Stopped by Wieck. Oh, my goodness. Hunter Wieck having to come up huge here. Draw me to his right again. Draw one by the Irish. Colton Edwards fires it across to the far side. Jacob Bourne tried to keep it in. Went off the stick of Trace Graham. Carried out by Matthew Moore. Puck in the Father Ryan zone. Colton Edwards jumps in front of Moore and grabs it. Drops it behind the net for McCullers. McCullers sends it around to the far side. Sullivan flips it out to center. It's back in the NBA zone on the left wing side. Who's going to get to it first? It's Edwards. He beats Graham Rudder to it, but then Rudder pokes it away. Matthew Moore it knocked off his stick. Rudder clears it out. McCullers pushes it back in. Edwards with it, left wing side. Passes over to the right wing. Sullivan trying to put it in front for Edwards. It went off a stick and ends up in the glove of Wieck. 8:41 to go in the second. Still 1-0 Father Ryan. The Irish's top line pushing for another. Draw one by NBA, but stolen by the Irish, and Chaffin Baggett with a shot that Wieck has to glove and hang on to. The Irish are catching NBA in shots on goal. Draw to the left of Wieck. One by NBA. Trace Graham trying to carry it out, but held in by the Irish, held in right of the blue line. And a shot from out high, and Carter Middleton gloved and held on to by Wieck. Draw to Wieck's left. Just shot from the right half wall, turned away by Wieck. Shooting that was Brendan Malloy. Puck carried out to center by Matthew Moore, and he backhands it into his own bench, trying to bank it off the wall. 8:13 left in the second. Still 1-0 Father Ryan. Draw is going to be right at center ice. No, they're going to drop it on the dot right in front of the NBA bench. One by NBA. Zach Rankin in his own zone. Passes across to Abe Lasher. Lasher whips it around the wall to the far side. Duke Dalba deflects it out, lets it go off his sticking out. It's back in the Father Ryan zone, banked off the far wall, but out and out. Abe Lasher tried to bring it back in. Now the Irish send it back into the NBA zone. Lasher has to get to it. Lasher, who backhands it to the far wall, but nobody was there. Zach Rankin was actually moving towards the space below the goal line. Now it's center with Ethan Moore. Moore, right wing side of the Father Ryan zone. Gets off a shot that would have missed the net, but Zach Fonsbeck decides to stand up and glove it. 7:33 to go in the second. Still 1-0 Father Ryan. Draws to the left of Fonsbeck. The Irish have the puck and bring it out to center. Jacob Boron dumps it into the NBA zone. This time he was on top of the red line. He made sure there wasn't going to be a whistle. Puck in the left wing corner. Jack Halloran pushed off. Puck coming up the left wing boards, the near wall. And carried out to center by Ethan Moore. He'll pass to the far side, Duke Dalba. Dalba brings it back into the Irish zone on the left wing side. Drops it back in open space, but it's picked up and brought out by Harper Howard. Howard, right wing side of the NBA zone, gets off a shot. That's scooped up off the ice by Wieck with a glove. 6:50 to go in the second. Still 1-0 Father Ryan. Draw to the left of Wieck. It's won by NBA, but the Irish come up with it. Puck in the right wing corner, Colton Edwards. Passing it up to the right point, Merrick McCullers. McCullers taking a shot off a stick and just goes past the net to the left of Wieck as it was coming down. James Lehrman carries it out to center. And it's swatted off his stick right at the Father Ryan blue line. Back the other way come the Irish. Edwards in the NBA zone, crossing to the right wing side. Shot stopped by Wieck. And Colin Sullivan couldn't get a rebound. Now McCullers shooting from the right circle, top of the right circle. It's blocked. And the Big Red are going to end up icing the puck, I think. Yes, they are. See if we can get an update from Rich Mellon on Hendersonville USN. Draw be to Wieck's left. Puck is behind the net. Now it's out on the near side. Matthew Moore with it, trying to pass across. It's held in by Edwards. Sullivan skates away from Moore, trying to go to the slot, but Moore took the puck off of him from behind. Here's Edwards trying to put it out in front. Moore's stick caught Edwards in the back, and I believe he's going to get a penalty for it. One of the referees has his arm in the air. I think it's Jim Diamond across the way. Yeah. The Irish are going to get a power play here. Here's Hester, right wing side of the NBA zone. Sends it through the top of the crease. Held in Jacob Boren. Going to take a shot in the left circle. Stopped by Wieck and goes into the netting above the glass. And they're going to call Moore for high sticking. His stick came down right on the back of Edwards as he was trying to go to the slot. So it's a high stick. Father Ryan get their first power play of the game up 1-0 with 5:17 to go in the second. Draw to the right of Wieck, won by NBA, and they'll clear it. Puck back in the NBA zone and a shot from the right wing off a stick and over the net. Puck held in at the left point by Jacob Boren. Softly passes it down the left wing to Hester. Hester, by the way, 1 point away from 100. He had the assist on the Sullivan goal. Hester passes down the left wing to Edwards. Edwards back up top. Boren center point. Passes over to the right wing and Middleton sends it past the net. Puck on the left wing side. Michael Dattilo trying to clear it out. He's double teamed. And he'll clear it up the near wall. USN up 5-1 on Hendersonville. Oh, and Carter Middleton with a big, oh no, Carter Middleton falls over near his own blue line. Lee Guy grabs the puck, carries it down the slot, and fires it through the legs of Zach Fonsbeck into the back of the net. And NBA have tied the game at 1. It's a short-handed goal. Carter Middleton unable to keep the puck near his own zone. And Lee Guy makes him pay for it. 45 seconds left of the power play for the Irish. 4:02 left in the second. The game is tied at 1. Draw one by NBA, but Michael Dattilo whiffs on trying to dump it into the Father Ryan zone. Parker Causey brings it in, puts it out in front. And we're going to get another penalty against the Big Red. Parker Causey took a big hit in the right wing corner from Dattilo, who's going to go to the box. Roughing the call. So the Irish will have a 5-on-3 for 34 seconds. 3:51 left in the second. The game is tied at 1. Draw is going to be to Wieck's left. Draw one by NBA. Puck whipped around the boards to the near side. Held in Curtis Newman at the left point. Passes across Merrick McCullers. McCullers with a shot. Knocked down by the glove of Wieck. Puck whipped around and held in again at the left point by Newman. Hester. Surveying on the left wing. Passes over to Newman near the right point. Newman a shot. Stopped in onto by Wieck. 9 seconds left in the 5-on-3. 3:27 to go in the second. The game is tied at 1. Draw will be to Wieck's left again. Draw one by the Irish. Merrick McCullers, right point. Passes over to the left point. Curtis Newman. Back to the high slot. Hester. Hester with a shot. Stopped by Wieck off his left leg pad. Rebound cleared out of the zone. 5-on-3 is up. Graham Rudder clearing the puck out of the zone. 5-on-3 is up. Matthew Moore out on the ice now for NBA. The Irish still have over a minute of a 5-on-4. Colin Sullivan passing across Edwards in the NBA zone. Tried to put it out in front for Sullivan, but it was intercepted by Brandon Fremgen. Matthew Moore can't clear the puck out on the far side. Here's Edwards. Trying to find room over at the blue line. Backhands it to the left wing boards. Sullivan. Now Edwards. Edwards maneuvers around a defender. Takes a shot. Turned away by Wieck. Rebound on the stick of Hester. And then it's taken away and cleared only as far as center. Edwards sends it back in the zone. Under a minute left in the 5-on-4 for the Irish. Graham Rudder ices the puck, but again NBA are shorthanded. Zach Fonsbeck fires it up the far side. Merrick McCullers carries it out to center. McCullers into the NBA zone, but Parker Causey was about an inch over the blue line. He was trying to stretch his right leg to stay atop the blue line, but he was about an inch away from it. 26 seconds left of the 5-on-4. 2:18 to go in the second. Game tied at 1. Draw on the dot in front of the Father Ryan bench. Draw one by the Irish. Carter Middleton, left wing side of the NBA zone. Puck chopped off his stick by Andrew Fretch. Puck comes up to the left point. Jack Halloran sent it back down low. Intercepted and cleared out by Fretch. Here's Jacob Boron. Trying to pass it up the far side. And Abe Lasher has it at center for the Big Red. Backhands it over to the near side. Ethan Sides dumps it into the Irish zone. Penalty time against NBA is up there back at even strength. Puck is behind the net. Here's a shot from Andrew Fretch on the right wing side of the Father Ryan zone. It was blocked. Puck now behind the net. Puck will be carried out to center by Jack Halloran. Halloran, left wing side of the NBA zone. Crosses over to the right wing side. Stops. Gets off a shot that's blocked by the stick of Abe Lasher. Puck in the right wing corner. Lasher, Parker Causey jumps on Lasher from behind, pokes the puck away. Father Ryan gets some fresh bodies out onto the ice. Clearing attempt held into the blue line. McCullers a shot, missed the net. High into the left of Wieck. Puck put out in front. And a shot stopped by Wieck from the right point. Jacob Boren. Puck comes up to the Boren again at the right point. His shot blocked up in the air and lands past the net to the left of Wieck. We're in the final minute of the second. Parker Causey, right wing corner. Had the stick knocked out of his hand. Sam Halloran joins in. Halloran passes up to the right point. Oh, and Borden couldn't keep it in the zone. It was all the way back into the Irish end. He'll catch up to it. 30 seconds left in the period. Tried to pass to head. Went off the stick of Andrew Fretch, but we're going to have a penalty. It's too many men, and now Parker Causey also getting an unsportsmanlike. I think it's just an unsportsmanlike. So NBA back to the power play. Game tied at 1, 27.6 seconds left in the second. Draws to the left of Fonsbeck. Won by NBA and a shot from Michael Dattilo off the left leg pad of Fonsbeck. Dattilo again, top of the left circle. Shot, score! Michael Dattilo fires it into the back of the net, and NBA have their first lead of the game as they convert the power play very quickly and go up 2-1 with 17.2 seconds left in the period. Draw in by Father Ryan. Austin Hester brings it into the NBA zone on the right wing side. Try to backhand it to the slot, intercepted and cleared out by James Lehrman. Will this go for an icing? Yes, it will. .9 seconds left of the period. Draws to the right of Wieck, or to his left, excuse me. One by NBA, and that is it for the second. Well, Colin Sullivan scored just 54 seconds into the second to put him, or Father Ryan, up 1-0. And they dominated this period in terms of shots, but then Carter Middleton misplays the puck at his own blue line, and Lee Guy takes it in and scores. Then Michael Dattilo, with just under 30 seconds left of the period, scores on the power play, and NBA have the Irish at the end of 2. Zach Fonsbeck still in goal for Father Ryan. Hunter Wieck still in goal for NBA for this third period. The Irish will move the puck from my left to right, NBA from my right to left. As the Big Red win the opening draw to start the third, Michael Dattilo dumps the puck into the Father Ryan zone. It's behind the net. Comes out in front. Austin Hester going to grab it. Pass it over to the far side. It's in the NBA zone, but Colton Edwards falls over trying to go back for the puck, and it's cleared out by the Big Red. And offside called against NBA. Carter Middleton fighting with the puck, or fighting with James Lehrman for the puck, but Lehrman had gone over the blue line before the puck came in, and he touched it as Middleton was falling over, so offside the call. And that takes the first 28 seconds of the period off the clock. Draw one by the Big Red. Puck brought into the Father Ryan zone and a shot in the right wing side. And Ethan Moore was stopped by Zach Fonsbeck. And then he makes a tremendous point-blank save from the slot on Andrew Fretch. Puck now back in the Big Red zone behind the net. Ethan Moore out at center now. Into the Father Ryan zone on the left wing side. Puck jabbed off his stick, backhands it down to the front of the net. Curtis Newman intercepted, tried to clear, held in by Moore, and then Newman takes it back for Moore and flicks it ahead to Harper Howard. Howard backhands it into the NBA zone. Brought out by Ethan Moore. Moore into the Father Ryan into the right wing side. Under some pressure. Spins away from a defender. Takes a shot. Misses the net to the left of Fonsbeck. Now the puck ends up in the Father Ryan bench. 12:31 to go. Still 2-1. NBA. Draws to the right of Fonsbeck. Draw one by NBA. Puck put in front. Trace Graham a shot. What a tremendous save by Fonsbeck to sprawl out and stop Graham. Draw to beat Fonsbeck's right again. One by the Big Red. Zach Rankin passes across to the far side. Abe Lasher. Trying to pass over to Rankin. It went off of Sullivan's skates to get there, but it went there, and then Rankin shoots it past the net to the right of Fonsbeck. Clearing attempt held in Graham. Graham trying to put it in front, went past the net. Curtis Newman backhands it off the top of the glass, and it glanced off my glasses and out. .12:01 to go, still 2-1. NBA, draw to the right of Fonsbeck once more. Irish won the draw, carried it out. Taken away by the Big Red right at their own blue line. Trace Graham will dump it back into the Father Ryan zone. Lee Guy in it, taken away from him by Colton Edwards. Edwards out at center. Banks it off the near kick plate. It's in the NBA zone. Edwards catches up to it. A shot off the glove of Wieck. Rebounded to be cleared away from the front of the net. And NBA tried to clear the puck down ice and ends up going off the hand of Jacob Boren and into the Big Red bench. 11:20 to go. Still 2-1 NBA. Draw is going to be on the dot in front of the Big Red bench. Oh, and one by Father Ryan, and then trying to dump it back into the NBA zone. It was whiffed on. And I think it was Edwin Bass who had a chance to carry it into the Irish zone, but he fumbled the puck right at the blue line. It is deep in the Irish zone now on the near side. Chaffin Baggett will carry it out. Baggett, right wing side of the NBA zone. Shot it across the front of the net. Michael Jasowski holding it in. Michael Dattilo now behind the net. Banks it off the near boards and down. This will go for an icing. Oh, and it just went for an icing too. It barely slid over the goal line. Draw's going to be to the left of Hunter Wieck. One by the Irish. A shot from Carter Middleton went off a stick and passed the net to the left of Wieck. And the Big Red clear it down ice. It went off an Irish stick on the way down, so no icing. Puck on the near side of the Father Ryan zone. Austin Hester with it. Carries it out to center. Colton Edwards brings it into the NBA zone on the left wing side. Backhands it across the front of the net. Nobody in a white sweater was there. Here go the Big Red again. Andrew Fretch, left wing side of the Father Ryan zone. Drops it back. Oh! Both Ethan Moore and Duke Dalbel were moving in on goal all by themselves. Neither one of them could get to the puck. And then Dalbel from the right wing corner passes it off to Moore, who redirects it on goal, stopped and covered up by Fonsbeck. 9:43 to go, still 2-1 NBA. Draw be to the left of Fonsbeck. Won by NBA. Shot from Brandon Fremgen out high, turned away by Fonsbeck. Here's Colton Edwards bringing the puck back into the NBA zone. A backhander went across the front of the net. Puck comes out to the right point. Jacob Boren tried to put it in front off the stick of Graham Rudder and past the net. Now Colton Edwards behind the net. Backhands it over. Colin Sullivan, right circle. His shot blocked by the shins of Fremgen. Clearing attempt held in at the left point by Curtis Newman. Taken back by the Big Red and carried out to center by Graham Rudder. Rudder will dump it into the Father Ryan zone. Puck in the left wing corner. Trace Graham gets to it. Knocked off his stick. Austin Hester taps it out. Now the puck back in the Father Ryan zone. Lee Guy with it on the right wing side. Passes it through the legs of Trace Graham. Puck out on the far boards. Harper Howard trying to backhand it out, but right to Lee Guy. Guy puts it in front. Matthew Moore holding on. Couldn't get the shot away. Trace Graham has it poked away. And then Guy with a little backhand of the slot. Stopped by Fonsbeck, who's down. Puck still loose in a big pile. And finally they have to blow the whistle because laying on it was Matthew Moore. .8:21 left in the game, still 2-1 NBA. Draw to the left of Fonsbeck. One by the Big Red. Shot from Zach Rankin at the right point. Stopped and held on to by Fonsbeck. Draw to Fonsbeck's left again. One by the Irish. Puck out on the far wall, trying to get it out. Merrick McCullers wanted to carry it out. Jumping in to keep him doing so was Eli Starkey. Finally, on like a third effort, manages to backhand it out all the way back into the NBA zone. Icing waved off. Cleared out by the Big Red on the far side. It's back in the Irish zone, immediately cleared out. Zach Rankin up the far side to James Lehrman, got pushed off the puck. And it's going to end up being iced from right in front of the Father Ryan blue line by, Sam Halloran. Looks like we should have a final on USN Hendersonville. They're up 6-3 with 37 seconds to go. So it looks like USN are going to win and be the 4th seed for the Hein Cup. Brentwood are going to end up being the 5. Draws to the left of Fonsbeck. 7:41 to go, 2-1 NBA. The Big Red win the draw. Edwin Bass having a little trouble with it. Trying to go to the slot. Puck out in front. And it slides just past the net to the right of Fonsbeck. Trying to put it out in front is Emmett Castile. And Fonsbeck smothers that at the left-hand side. USN beat Hendersonville. There's a shot from the right point. It has to be stopped by Fonsbeck. That shot coming from Michael Dattilo. USN beat Hendersonville 6-3. And another shot from the left-hand side of the net by Emmett Castile, stopped and covered up by Fonsbeck. So USN will be the 4 seed for the Hein Cup. Brentwood will be the 5. Station Camp the 6. Hendersonville the 7. So all the seeds in the Hein Cup have been claimed. Jack Sutterth out at center. Into the NBA zone on the left wing side. Stops, waits for help. Passes off to Chaffin Baggett. Baggett trying to backhand it out in front. Swatted away by an NBA stick. Puck held in by Jacob Boren. He banks it off the near kick plate, far kick plate, comes right back to him and fires it over the net. Parker Causey trying to keep it in. Baggett trying to keep it in now. Clearing attempt held in. Causey at the right point, but then poked away from him and out. Puck coming around the wall to the near side. And NBA are going to end up icing the puck. That was, I think Ethan Sides clearing it out of his zone. 6:13 to go, still 2-1 Big Red. Here's Colton Edwards, left wing side of the NBA zone. Sends it around the wall. Down low, Colin Sullivan pins it up against the kick plate. Abe Lasher joins in. Austin Hester jumps in. Puck now behind the net. Lee Guy backhands it out to the far side. Somebody from NBA tried to clear it out and hit the skates of Merritt McCullough. Stayed in the zone. They did get it out eventually. It was Trace Graham trying to get it out. Now here's Lasher. Behind the net, puts it out in front. Lee Guy shoots it right over the top of the Irish net. Here's Abe Lasher behind the net. Comes out to the left wing, backhands it in front off the skates of Curtis Newman. Abe Lasher shot in the left circle. Knocked down and covered up by Fonsbeck. Centennial beat Independence Ravenwood 8-2. So Centennial finished the second half with a record of 5-2. They'd already clinched the 2 seed for the Hein Cup when the Outlaws beat Brentwood. Matthew Moore dropping the puck down low behind the net. Lee Guy passes out to the right wing side. Now up to the right point, Michael Dattilo. Dattilo shot off a stick. It just past the net to the left of Fonsbeck. Here's Trace Graham. Being pushed into the boards by Jack Sutterth. Or is it Halloran? It's Jack Halloran. Puck cleared out by Harper Howard. It's in the NBA zone. Michael Dattilo swats it to the other end of the rink for no icing because it went right past Carter Middleton. Oh, and then Matthew Moore stumbles over and crashes into the inboards trying to put the puck out in front, and he's still down. He beat Middleton to the puck, stumbled over his own feet, crashed into the boards. He comes up a bit woozy. But otherwise, he's fine. We'll skate back to the bench under his own power. 4:36 left, 2-1. NBA lead. So at the moment, NBA are going to win the GNASH Cup for a 5th time. Draw one by NBA. Puck sent into the Father Ryan zone. Jacob Boren trying to clear it out. Held in Andrew Fretch. Backhands it down low, but Duke Dalba couldn't get a stick on it. Puck is behind the net. Now Dalba left wing corner. Passes behind the net. Ethan Moore comes out in front. Little shot off the right leg pad of Fonsbeck. Now here's Ethan Moore firing it through the air from the right wing boards. Gloved and held onto by Fonsbeck. 4 minutes to go. Still 2-1. Big Red. Draw to the left of Fonsbeck. If it ends up like this, and puck ends up in the NBA zone off the draw, if it ends up like this, here's Matthew Moore back in the Irish zone, a shot off the skate of McCullers into the netting above the glass. If NBA win this game and then Pope beat Mount Juliet, these two teams will play each other again in the 3-6 game next Monday. Because NBA would finish as the 3 seed, Pope would be the 4, Franklin the 5, Father Ryan the 6. So these two teams could meet each other again in the first round of the Predators Cup next Monday. And Lee Guy, who puts the puck in front to Trace Graham, who redirects it just past the net to the right of Fonsbeck. Ooh, and Brandon Fremgen near his own blue line almost fumbled the puck enough for Colton Edwards to get a steal, but he kept it away from Edwards. And now a shot from center by Matthew Moore to be knocked down by Fonsbeck. Puck coming up the far wall to the right point. Brandon Fremgen whips on it, poked away Colton Edwards. Edwards into the NBA zone on the left wing. Pass across, Sullivan. It's behind him now. It's in the net. It ended up behind Wieck in the crease. I'm not sure who got it, but it's 2-2 with 3:03 to go. NBA will still win the GNASH Cup if this score holds. But the Irish still have enough time to score a winner, take it away from them, and give it to Franklin. Hey. Who scored that? Was Sullivan? Okay. They're telling me Sullivan scored it, so I guess it either trickled in the net or Wieck knocked it in himself. Draw one by the Irish, Jacob Boran. Ends up shooting it out of play, trying to fire it down ice. And it's going to be to the right of Fonsbeck. Draw to the right of Fonsbeck. One by NBA. Shot from Eli Stark. Turned away by Fonsbeck. How big is that waved off Sam Halloran goal in the second right now? It'd be 3-2 Father Ryan. Puck behind the Irish net. Jacob Boran tried to send it around the wall. James Lehrman knocks it down. Here's Lehrman. Comes out in front. Shot stopped by Fonsbeck at the right-hand side of the net. Here's Harper Howard. Trying to pass ahead off the stick of Eli Stark. The Irish desperately trying to clear it out. And it'll be brought out to center by Howard. Howard into the NBA zone. Tried to send it to the front of the net. Was blocked. And Jack Halloran's shot. It was Jack Halloran who had that waved off goal. His shot misses the net to the right of Wieck. Back the other way goes Abe Lasher. Lasher, right wing side of the Father Ryan zone. Takes a shot over the net. Lasher again. Takes a shot. Oh, stopped by Fonsbeck. Just put out the right leg pad in time. Puck out at center. Here's Colton Edwards. Firing it up the far wall for an icing. Trying to get it ahead to Colin Sullivan. But it ends up being an icing. 93 seconds left in the game. Is tied at 2. Draw's going to be to Fonsbeck's left. If this score holds, NBA win the GNASH Cup by a point. If the Irish can find a winner, Franklin would win it on the most wins tiebreaker. Draw one by NBA. Puck fired past the net. Here's Trace Graham. Passing it off, Lee Guy just in front of the right wing corner. Trying to centering pass one off his stick and behind the net. Guy with it again. Below the goal line. Passing it out to Graham. Out in front in the slot. Moore whiffs on it. Matthew Moore whiffing on it. Matthew Moore with it again above the left wing corner. Put it out in front. Intercepted Merritt McCullers. Pass ahead. Colin Sullivan leading a 2-on-1. Now Edwards. Left wing side of the NBA zone. Edwards shot. Stopped by Wieck. Final minute of the game. Here's Trace Graham. Puck back in the Father Ryan zone. Guy with it. Guy. Shot off the right leg pad of Fonsbeck. Lasher shoots it past the net to the right of Fonsbeck. Here's Guy passing it up to the right point. Michael Dattilo shot blocked. And it comes to the left-hand side of the net. Fonsbeck covers. 41.1 seconds left. Still 2-2. And Trace Graham's telling I think NBA called the timeout. So 41.1 seconds left. Game tied at 2. GNASH Cup hangs in the balance. If it ends like this, NBA win by a point. If the Irish can find a game winner, Franklin would win it. Timeout done. Draw to the left of Fonsbeck. Won by the Irish. Fired into the NBA zone, but it ends up being an icing. They're trying to win this game. They're trying to maybe get themselves the 3 seed. They're trying to help Franklin win the GNASH Cup. Draw me to Fonsbeck's left again. Draw one with the big red. Abe Lasher, right point, holding on to the puck. Passes down the wall to Lee Guy. Backhands it down low, under 30 seconds left. Matthew Moore. Austin Hester jumps in, takes the puck away. Passes up in the near side. Lee Guy has it. Clears it back into the Irish zone. Merrick McCullers clears it out. Austin Hester, left wing side of the NBA zone. Pass across, Colin Sullivan had to curl away. Drops it back, nobody's there. Puck in the Father Ryan zone. This game will finish in a 2-2 tie, and Montgomery Bell have won the GNASH Cup for the 5th time in their history. The tie is enough. They win the GNASH Cup by a point. They finished the GNASH Cup race with a record of 8-1-5. One win less than Franklin. But they get the point needed to win it. And that Jack Halloran goal, that waved off goal in the second, looms large because the Irish would have won this game 3-2 and Franklin would have won the GNASH Cup. Just a quick note, this is MBA's 5th GNASH Cup, second all-time behind Brentwood's 6th. Had to give a stat to the crowd there as Lee Guy carries it over to the Big Red. And for the second time under J.P. Dumont, they have won the GNASH Cup, 5th time in their history. The Big Red, I do believe, are the 3 seed for the GNASH Cup. Let me just look at the standings here. Let me send out the final first. And actually, let me go over the goal scorers. Colin Sullivan had both of the Irish's goals. And for the Big Red, it was Lee Guy and Michael Dattilo. So the Big Red finish the second half of the regular season 2-1-4. That's 8 points. So they move up to 3, and I don't. No, they could still be passed. If Pope beat Mount Juliet, that would give Pope 4 wins, and they'd move into the 3 seed. Because they'd have more wins than NBA, 4-2, more wins in the second half. J.P. Dumont isn't here tonight, so he won't be in the team photo with the GNASH Cup. So Father Ryan finished the second half 3-3-1, which means they go below Franklin because Franklin beat them 5-0 back on November 15th. So at the moment, NBA are into 3rd, Franklin are into 4th, the Irish are into 5th, but we still got the Pope Mount Juliet game to go. Did I say player of the game was Hunter Wieck? Because player of the game is Hunter Wieck because when the Irish scored that first goal early in the second, they suddenly just roared into life. He made save after save after save after save after save. And he kept them in this game. And, of course, the Jack Halloran waved off goal that would have made it 2-0 and probably would have given the Irish the win ends up being huge. So with the exception of Pope and Mount Juliet, the 2023-2024 GNASH regular season is over. So the finals tonight, let's go over all the Tier 2 finals. Tennessee Outlaws beat Brentwood 5-4. USNBA Nashville Christian FRA Good Pasture beat Hendersonville Beach Gallatin 6-3. And Centennial beat Independence Ravenwood 8-2. So here are the final Tier 2 standings for the second half of the regular season. The Rutherford Rampage finished first. They'll be the 1 seed for the Hine Cup. They finished 6-1. Centennial finished second at 4-2. The Outlaws and USN both finished 4-3. But the Outlaws will be put in 3rd place and USN in 4th place because the Outlaws beat USN 3-2 on November 13th. Brentwood will be the 5 seed. They finished 3-3-1. Station Camp Liberty Creek finished 6th at 3-4. Hendersonville Beach Gallatin finished 6th at 2-4-1. Hendersonville Beach Gallatin at one point were on a 7-game unbeaten streak, including a 4-game winning streak. They did not have a great second half. And Independence Ravenwood 2 finish the second half at 0-7. On to Tier 1. Summit Page finished first at 5-2. Ensworth and Owensville Lipscomb finished second at 4-2-1. MBA at the moment are at 2-1-4 and third. Franklin and Father Ryan are in fourth and fifth, respectively, 3-3-1. But again, Franklin are placed ahead of Father Ryan because they beat them 5-0 on November 15th. Pope are at 3-3. Mount Juliet, Wilson Central, Green Hill at 2-3-1. They've still got to play each other. And Ravenwood will be the 8th seed. They finished the second half at 1-6. Final GNASH Cup standings. NBA win with a record of 8 wins, 1 loss, and 5 ties. Franklin finished second, 9 wins, 3 losses, 2 ties. That 3-game losing streak killed the GNASH Cup for them. Father Ryan finished at 6-7-1. Poper at 6-7. Mount Juliet are 4. Let's see, 4-9-2. No, wait. Four 7-2. They are 4-7-2, and Ravenwood finish at 4-10, and of course Brentwood and Rutherford got relegated to the second tier, Tier 2 for the second half of the regular season, so they couldn't win it. And Summit and Ensworth came up from Tier 2, so they couldn't win it either. Wednesday night, the 2024 GNASH postseason begins. All 4 Hein Cup first-round games are going to be played on Wednesday, and there will be 1 first-round Preds Cup game on Wednesday and 1 on Thursday. Let me pull up the schedule here. So Wednesday, puck drops at 7:10 here on Rink A at Centennial for the 1-8 game in the Hein Cup. 1 seed Rutherford taking on 8-seeded Independence. Come on. Let's not be slow now. 8:30 over on Rink B, the 2-7 game between Centennial, the 2 seed, Hendersonville, the 7 seed. 8:40 here on Rink A, the 4-5 game, USN the 4, Brentwood the 5. And at 9:15 on the North Rink at Antioch, the 3-6 game, the 3-seeded Outlaws taking on 6-seeded Station Camp Liberty Creek. And then also Wednesday, the 4-5 game in the Predators Cup, which that matchup not yet been determined. It'll be at 7:30 on the North Rink in Antioch. And then Thursday at 5 o'clock on the South Rink in Antioch, the 1-8 game between 1-seed Summit and the 8-seed Ravenwood. The 3-6 game was originally scheduled for this Friday night, but they moved it to next Monday at 6:45 on the Chris Spring in Bellevue. It'll follow the 2-7 game between Ensworth, the 2-seed, and whoever ends up being the 7. So on Wednesday night, we'll be in Antioch. We'll be in the air at 7:25 for a 7:30 face-off between the 4-5 seeds in the Preds Cup, and then 9:10 pregame for a 9:15 face-off between the Outlaws and Station Camp in the Hein Cup 3-6 game, and then back to it on Thursday, 4:55 pregame for a 5 o'clock face-off between Summit and Ravenwood. And with the exception of just one game, that is it for the 2023-2024 GNASH regular season. And normally I don't play the music until the last broadcast of the week, but since this is our last broadcast of the regular season, I find it appropriate to play this. So congratulations to J.P. Dumont and the Montgomery Bell Academy Big Red. They win the GNASH Cup for a 5th time as they and Father Ryan finish in a 2-2 tie. Commiserations to Franklin. It looked like they were going to win it at the Christmas break, and then they come back and they lose. The loss to Ensworth was one thing. They needed to face some adversity. But, man, that bad loss to Pope and then that heartbreaking loss, that heartbreaking finish where Summit scored the game winner with just under 30 seconds left. If Franklin had held on and won that game, or Franklin had held on and gotten a tie, they would have won the GNASH Cup on most wins because they would have finished with 3 ties, 9 wins, 2 losses, 3 ties, to MBA's 8 wins, 1 loss, 5 ties. They would have won the GNASH Cup on most wins. But it didn't happen, and it's the Big Red who are carrying the GNASH Cup home for a 5th time. Thank you all so much for listening. My voice is wrecked. I'm Michael Hackney. Thank you all so much for listening. Again, our final score tonight, MBA and Father Ryan finishing a 2-2 tie. The Big Red win the GNASH Cup for a 5th time. The regular season is over. It's time for the playoffs. Talk to you Wednesday night from Antioch, everybody.